Look, look, we're stuck in the system, we can't get out. It's time for a change, stop running your mouth. I'm looking for words, but I can't get it out. Look for the light, but the sun blotted out.
Hold on, let me hop on the beat. Cause social injustice and prisoner mindset is something we gotta defeat. We idle these hoes and wear all these clothes with shoes that can't be creased. Steady looking for substance and change, but we searching all up in these streets. Hello, my Macam family. Welcome to another one of our Make a Culture Move podcasts.
Welcome.
Where we cover everything from intense social topics to funny social trends. We are your hosts, Mark Jonathan.
Tabitha.
G. And we have a special guest today, Mr. Hasadiah Ben Israel.
How y'all doing?
Welcome to our show.
How y'all doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm amazing.
How you doing, sir?
I'm
good.
Fantastic.
Yes, indeed. So, as always, just before we get started, if we can have a brief disclaimer.
So, you guys, here at the Macam podcast, the Make a Culture Move podcast, we cover a lot of intense and controversial topics, and we just want to let you know that that does not reflect Malcolm as a whole. So don't be holding Malcolm accountable for the things and the views that are expressed here on this here podcast.
Yes, indeed.
Did y'all hear her accent come out towards her Alabama accent?
I tried to do it. I tried, but it's a little Alabama and Texas. I lived in Texas too, y'all. Oh my gosh. So,
but yes, so with our special guest today, we're pretty much gonna center our podcast, or initially, off of some of what G wanted to talk with Hasadiah, I'm sorry. So if you wanted to just jump into that, G.
Yeah. Okay, so look, y'all. So I made this post on Facebook, and it said, Tabitha, if you can, no, don't. Don't. I'ma just read it. I don't know if y'all can still see me, but so I made this post. It said, because I was made fun of for being too proper and talking white, people thinking I was gonna like white boys is one of the main reasons I've always been attracted to the blackest, most hood, gang banging, sport playing, low, slow, damaged ass dudes. That's my trauma.
Right.
And so, Haas wanted to come on and talk about that or whatever, but y'all, it's real. And a lot of Black women have experienced, Black men as well, but it's something so negative in our culture. Like our culture, we idolize and glorify the entertainment world, whether it's like athletes or musical entertainment or theatrical entertainment, being an actor or an actress. We glorify that area, but with the intelligence, it's like it's not glorified, it's made fun of. You're a nerd, you're a square if you're smart, if you get good grades. And it's like, why? We have the most inventors of everybody. We are the intelligent race. Like we are the intelligent species. So it's like, why do we downplay the intelligence? Why do we make fun of our youth when they're out here making good grades and they're doing good in school, or they're into the STEM program, they like science, they like math, they like those things. Like those things should be glorified. We should be pushing our kids to be in chess clubs and robotics clubs and debate clubs and all of that type of stuff, rather than getting them into football early, because that damages up their brain, because
and body,
physical sport. So I don't know, but Haas, go ahead, give us your intake and what you wanted to say on that.
All right, so low key that triggered me. Y'all can hear me, right? Y'all can hear me?
Yes,
yeah.
That triggered me because it took me back to like one time when I was in high school. I think I might have been like a sophomore or a junior, and there was a sister. She was a freshman, so I'm walking home, right? I pull up next to her, I start talking to her and whatnot, and her friend next to her was like, "You look like you like white girls," and that shit just shattered me. I was like, I'm trying to talk to you. You not white, and so I've had to deal with that my whole life of having to be like being stigmatized. I look like I like white women, like, bro, I'm not. All my life, I've liked like Black and Hispanic women. That's been what I've been attracted to. But I always get this connotation because I wear glasses, because I like video games, things of that nature, that I like white women. And it's foolishness, but it goes back to the Willie Lynch letter, which it goes back to Willie Lynch and slavery and how we've been brainwashed. Because like G was saying, we should be pushing our children to be like doctors, lawyers, get into STEM and things of that nature. But y'all remember, but like back in like the 1600s all the way to the 1800s, they will kill you for reading.
First degree.
Mentally, we've been conditioned to be like, hey, if you're intelligent, you better hide that shit, or I can cuss.
You can cuss.
I can cuss? Okay.
I mean, not a whole lot, but just go ahead and let it out.
Let it out. This is a open space. Open space.
This is a genuine space.
Yeah.
Okay. Genuine. We've been conditioned to not show our intelligence, while at the same time, in the Willie Lynch letter, oh damn, I should have grabbed it. In the Willie Lynch letter, Willie Lynch basically said, "You will take the male N-word." Can I say nigga?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The hard R.
No,
don't say the hard R.
Not the hard R.
That's what it said in the book. What's the difference?
Just say it, man. Just say it. Go ahead. If he don't censor his words, he might as well just go ahead and say nigger. I just said it. I just said it. How about that? How about that? I said niggers.
Woo!
you gotta do it like that.
Hard R.
Yeah, just like these.
Right?
Just ready to.
Hey, I'm not. By white standards, I am a nigger. Look at, I got nigger hair, nigger nose, nigger lips.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna get fired.
I'm not gonna get fired. No.
Oh my
You're about to roll up on y'all like so. Ward called me, but in the Willie Lynch
We
letter.
got an etiquette class coming up. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
In the Willie Lynch letter, you had basically Willie Lynch said you would take a black male slave and you would bolster up his strength so he can, pick cotton and be a big, strong buck. All his whole mind is towards sex and working for you, but you would make him mentally weak, because if the man has a strong mind, he's going to want to lead a revolution. And that's the only way there can actually be a black revolution, is if black men stand up, step into their mental prowess, keep the commandments, and do what we're supposed to, understand who we truly are. Not according to, white standards, but according to the Bible. But you would also take the female slave and you would make her mentally stronger. That's why we see nowadays the most educated people in America are black women, black and Hispanic women. So there's been a reversal of setting black and Hispanic women over the black and Hispanic man mentally. So that's why we don't see our black men getting pushed towards STEM and different academia. And then those who do, because of that, they make fun of, and then they run off. But a lot of times, if you one of them brothers who are like, black girls don't like me because I like anime and video games, you weak, bro. Because there are plenty of black women who love anime.
I love anime. But I will say this though. There's one thing that I do want to touch on. The Willie Lynch letter said, keep the body but take the mind. And a lot of times that's what ends up happening to us as people of color. Our mind, we're physically strong but mentally weak. And that puts us in a place to be more submissive and more willing to I guess subscribe to our opposites viewpoints and how they feel about us. And it kind of we internalize a lot of the things that they say about us because we've been broken mentally and we still serve them physically.
Yeah,
even in interracial dating.
We are subservient to white culture and everything we do, from what we watch on TV to the people we choose as our relationship partners, even brothers and sisters who get with black partners. Is your black partner for the revolution? There's a quote from one of my leaders. He said, his name Bishop Nathaniel. He says, if your woman is not revolutionary, she's going to make you consider being a slave. She's going to be like, hey, you might as well just be a slave. So if her mindset is not towards getting out of the ways of America and white supremacy, her mindset is to make you a slave. There's some people who even though they get with like G was saying, you get with a broken nigga, that broken nigga's mindset is white supremacy. Because if his mindset is to rob, steal, gangbang, kill the next brother who looked just like him, what difference is he than a cop who kills our people? What difference is there between him and a Klansman? It's mental. But yeah, what you said triggered me. I was like, bruh, that's the reason, sister.
I'm glad it triggered you. It triggered a lot of people. You know, it triggered quite a few people, and I'm glad it did because it's real. You know, and like topics like these are the ones that people don't really want to address or talk about. But this is what is damaging. One of the things that's damaging our community. It damages our women. It damages our men. It damages our youth. Like with me, it started with my family. My family was telling me that I was talking proper and white, and that they just assumed I was gonna like white boys. It was just like it was their perception. It's just because I got my first B when I was in like the 6th grade. So it's like I was always made fun of for being smart. My grades were like, I was congratulated for it because it's like, oh yeah, you're getting good grades in school, but it's like, oh yeah, you're a nerd. Like you like I wasn't black enough. I wasn't black enough because I had straight A's.
And
that's straight A's.
That's another mental stronghold that's been set up in our mind that like, okay, I equate blackness with being dumb. Which means
like no, that's not it.
Right.
I was just about to say that.
That's not it. And it's like when we look at history, you actually take a minute to step back and look at history. Black people have created and invented the way of life that Americans live by now. Everything that they do, that they have, that they live off of, a black person invented it. Electricity.
Or reinvented.
The train system, the mobile transportation systems,
the internet,
the phones. Everybody has a phone.
Every thing that you can think of. Guess what? A black person brought it to be. Fubu came from black people, and then it turned into something else. You know, and then like they buy us out, kind of like BET.
Exactly.
You know,
white people buy us out.
But that's a whole nother point because
I know you don't even really hear about BET no more.
True, but people don't even. I mean, I definitely still hear about BET.
I don't.
Black people television. You got the Real Housewives of Aurora, Colorado.
Oh, hell no. Is that a thing?
What?
Is that a thing? Or are you playing?
I think you're playing.
Okay.
Right, what? Like,
Park Hill, you've never seen that?
No.
Life on there, you know?
No, but I think it's great. Then I lost my whole train of thought.
Oh my god!
But it's like Tabitha was saying things that you don't even think about, like the toilet tissue holder, where you hold your tissue. A black woman invented that.
Hey, the stoplights, the
stoplight,
the signal lights that you go to. A black person invented that.
One of
the stop signs,
components in the light bulb.
Hey, we did.
If you haven't seen the movie Hidden Figures,
I was just going to that space travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, space travel. Black women are behind that science.
We did that.
So it's like one thing that our community has to absolutely stop doing. It needs to stop right now today, like it's 2021.
We did that.
We need to quit glorifying the entertainment world. We got the entertainment world on lock. We got the entertainment world on lock. Okay? Cool, fine. That's great and dandy and all. Whatever.
Jeez.
We need more people to glorify the education system. We need more people to glorify all the other jobs and careers out there besides being an athlete or a musical. And then I'm telling y'all, everybody can't rap. Y'all suck, okay? I'm going to say it. Y'all suck. Everybody cannot rap. Just because you have the means and to go into a studio doesn't mean you need to go into the studio. Find a different path. Like there's so many other things we need. Our black men need black doctors. Our black little boys need black pediatricians. Our black little girls need black doctors. Our black women need black nurses when they go to give birth because black women have the highest fertility rate.
Lawyers.
when giving labor. During labor, Black women die the most. And it's because white people don't give a damn about us. We need more Black lawyers so that our Black people actually have somebody on their team who's for this.
What's going on right now? Yo,
like for real, it's the community sucks when it comes to glorifying what needs to be glorified. Like the entertainment world, cool, we got it, we been had it.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
That's our fault. You know,
is it our fault?
It's the media's fault because that's the only way we're viewed on the media. We don't see, you know, our HBCU's graduation ceremonies. That's something that needs to be filmed and seen so that Black kids can know, like, wow.
I'm gonna tell you because you saying we have the entertainment on lock. No, the entertainment industry has a lock on us. Because what major studios do we own? We don't own Viacom. We don't own Clear Channel. Oh, really? That's because the black man's trying to censor me. Y'all didn't hear that? Oh, damn. I'm poor, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm just a poor mind. But we don't own Turner Broadcast. We don't own these major labels. We don't own things of that nature. So you're looking at a poor kid who's coming out of, I don't know, Philadelphia, Atlanta, all these different major cities where we at, and you telling him that he can make millions of dollars by claiming that he kills people and sells drugs, and he can get his family out the hood. It's because we have an individualist mindset. We're not thinking together as a people because we don't have a collective identity. If I see you as a nigga, or I see you as black or African American, I see you as these different things that ain't really got no meaning to them. There's no meaning to the names we put on ourselves. So there's no meaning to who we are as a people. That's why we can't come together, because ain't no meaning to us. We just kind of here. That makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense. We are here. And that kind of goes into what you were saying. Like once we have a sense of self and a sense of identity, we can begin to band together. I know there's this philosopher, a philosopher. His name is Fons Fanon, and he was a psychiatrist, and he works with the decolonization movement in Nigeria. Not Nigeria, sorry. I forget the name of the place. It'll hit me in a second. But
Côte d'Ivory.
Huh?
Côte d'Ivory. The Ivory Coast?
No. It's close. It's like Northern Africa, but he led Algeria. Yes, Algeria. He led the liberation movement in Algeria, and he said that psychologically, what they do is they pin us against each other, which is like the people that want the liberation, and then those that are the colonizers, you know what I'm saying? And then there's that middle person that's in between. They need that spokesperson, that spokesperson to be like, it's all right, y'all, we gonna make it through. But you have to submit to what the master's saying, because if you don't do that, then we're gonna put all of us in a bad situation. And that's what we have today. We have, the people that with the high incomes that feel like, dependent on massa or the person that owns the company or industry that they're working into, submitting to that ideology, they're gonna do better. They're gonna have a better lifestyle than their brothers and sisters that are in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no longer us, we. It's no longer we and us. It's more like me, mine, and me.
We are very selfish. We are very selfish. We need to step outside of that.
And that's the ideology that was being pushed on you, G. It's not. I don't think it's not necessarily like they was like trying to demean you or nothing. In the mind of black people, when we live in a white supremacist state, white is good. So they're like, oh, you getting good grades, oh, this and that. You gonna get with a white boy, and you gonna get up out the hood, and you gonna live a better life.
Exactly.
That's what they're saying. And going to Tabitha's point, that's the division of the black family is to keep us enslaved. Just the way they did in slavery, where they would separate us. They would sell a husband to Virginia and keep the wife in Georgia. They do that to us today, but they don't really need to sell us because it's already in our mind. So we're fully sold on leaving the black community, not staying with a black woman, not staying with a black man, or not getting married, being committed to one woman, but jumping around from woman to woman to woman, making baby mamas, whoring out our sisters. That in and of itself is a division of the Black community. So there's no strong basis. If we had a strong basis like that, then we could talk about changing the overall ideology and unity of our people. But we can't even come together on something like that.
We've been conditioned this way. We've been conditioned this way. It's kind of like a bird. You have a bird. Shout out to J. Cole with his Cage Bird song, but this has nothing to do with that. This is like I learned this in a philosophy class, me and my philosophy classes. But this philosopher said that when you have a bird in a cage for so long, let's say us as Black people, we've been in a cage for over 400 years. Because we're in this cage, we've been conditioned to think that we can only go so far. That this is what we are, this is where we belong, this is the cage in which I belong to. And let's say that the master opens that cage up. Because you don't know anything about the life that exists outside of that cage. Because you've been psychologically conditioned for during all these years, the cage will be open, but you won't go outside of that cage because you found comfort inside of that cage. The outside of that cage scares you. Everything outside of that.
And that is so real, and that's why so many Black people are so afraid to leave their territory. I tell Black people all the time, there are 49 other states than the one you currently reside in.
Yo, forget
Go explore.
Aurora. Leave Aurora, Colorado.
Leave. Step outside, because I guarantee you step outside and you go somewhere else. The problems you see when you stay conditioned, you're not going to see when you step outside and you let your wings soar and fly and spread. So, and I just want to say, before we segue out, I want to let all Black people know, and white people, it is an insult, a pure insult, to tell a Black kid person that they are too proper or talk white or are a nerd or a square because they make good grades. It's an insult. It's very insulting. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing it. Just stop.
Someone calls me a square.
As
long as you're not trying to insinuate,
demean us. Yeah, as long as you're not trying to demean it. Like there's no talking white. There's no talking white. I don't know what talking white is. I just know how to pronounce my R's.
No, there's talking white. There's talking white.
There's talking white like in the corporate world. I'm talking about the way I speak. I pronounce my E's and my R's. I'm sorry. I'm not from the South. I don't have to slang it. I don't have to. You can hear my T's and shit. I'm from Denver, Colorado. It's a proper ass state. That's where I'm from. I speak like I'm from Denver.
It's getting ghetto.
It's getting real ghetto real fast, but you right.
And I could get
okay, I'm playing. That seems aggressive. You're clapping at me. Calm down. But yeah.
But not so segueing into your
but segue, yes, I'm going backwards on my list. I just want to show this clip from reporter Joy Ann Reid. You could get right into the clip tab. She just kind of went on a little rant tangent after reporting on the Trump riot. And if y'all ain't seen the Trump riot,
oh yeah, I seen this.
I seen it too. I thought everything that she was saying was super valid.
Everything she was saying was true. She was speaking mad facts and she was going off. She was going in.
And she's on a good platform.
Oh,
that was the sister on MS. Oh, you gonna show it? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all fancy. Y'all got money around here, huh?
Not at all.
No. We mac them. We mac them.
That's what that
all
is.
The days.
All the days of the week.
Twice
on Sunday. I be on my face.
Y'all make charity moves? Because I take donations.
Hey.
We take donations.
Speaking of that.
Like
to There's another Black man caught up in the mix. Make $1 out of 50 cents. Brother out.
It's sort of ironic to be on with you and with Rachel, and Rachel in particular, because I can go back to 2014 when I would be on Rachel's show as a correspondent at curfew time in Baltimore, when I was covering the Freddie Gray uprisings. And these were mass marches that were in regard to police taking Freddie Gray's body and treating it like a rag doll and flinging him into the back of a police van and then riding around with him unshackled in that van until the rag doll broke and he died. And he died alone in the back of a car, being brutalized for no reason other than making eye contact with police as he rode his bike. And the uprisings that took place after Freddie Gray brought in a level of policing that I've never witnessed ever in life. It looked like a war zone. Police brought in tanks. They brought in body armor. They were wearing full body armor rubber suits where they almost looked robotic, full gear, enormous, powerful weaponry. And they were phalanx out all across Baltimore, Penn and North. They were standing menacingly, waiting to brutalize anyone who even looked at them funny. The level of force, the level of just almost indiscriminate rudeness, cruelty, hardness of those police officers. And at curfew time, which would be 9 o'clock, and then almost every night during that uprising, at some point I would go on with you, Rachel, and describe to you what I was seeing, and it was terrifying. And what terrified me in those moments in Baltimore were not the marchers. I was never afraid among the marchers. The marchers just wanted justice. They just didn't think it was okay to just kill a guy because he looked at the police funny. I wasn't afraid of them. I was afraid of the cops because they were menacing. They knew those marchers were coming every night. They knew there was going to be a curfew every night. The great Elijah Cummings would walk people home and get them to go home because he didn't want them out after curfew. There would always be some guys who would stay out after the curfew, who would refuse to go home, who would claim the right to be in their streets. And I was never afraid of them. I was afraid of the cops. The reason, as Claire talked about, that these people were so unafraid of the cops was sparsely distributed through our capital, which hasn't been breached since 1812, when it was burned. The reason they could easily and casually, with their cameras on, film themselves throwing things through the walls of our capital, our property, going inside the Capitol, sitting in Speaker Pelosi's office, casually take pictures of themselves, have that played on Fox News, they know that they are not in jeopardy. Because the cops are taking selfies with them, walking them down the steps to make sure they're not hurt, taking care with their bodies, not like they treated Freddie Gray's body. White Americans aren't afraid of the cops. White Americans are never afraid of the cops, even when they're committing insurrection, even when they're engaged in attempting to occupy our capital, to steal the votes of people who look like me. Because in their minds, they own this country, they own that capital, they own the cops work for them, and people like me have no damn right to try to elect a president. Because we don't get to pick the president, they get to pick the president. They own the president, they own the White House, they own this country. And so when you think you own it, you own the place, you ain't afraid of the police because the police are you, and the police reflect back to them. We're with you. You're good. We're not going to hurt you because you're not them. Guarantee you, if that was a Black Lives Matter protest in DC, there would already be people shackled, arrested, or dead.
Simple.
Shackled, arrested, en masse, or dead.
Simple.
Cunningham on here. She'll tell you how they treated her in Ferguson. Put Alicia Garza on here. She'll tell you how they treated her at every Black Lives Matter march. Get Patrice Cullors on. They'll tell you. They'll tell you what it feels like to protest peacefully and unarmed and have how the police will treat you if you're Black. That's it. They're not afraid of the cops because they know the cops are cool with it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube.
Just jumping into this, like, it's crazy because you see just like off rip, like even if you watch some of the videos, you know, they said clear as day, like, oh, we're fighting for our America, like saying without saying, like, oh, you know, LeBron James and a few other NBA players, but we live in two separate Americas. You feel me? Like she already said, if that was a Black Lives movement, I truly believe everybody would have been mowed down, like before reaching the gates. Like Like they have the nerve to call us monkeys, but climb up the wall. Like I'm confused. Like it's just crazy to even fathom. Like I couldn't imagine Black people rioting the Capitol, and the fact that they were doing it because they were mad that they didn't get their way makes it that much worse. Because every time we protested was for the sake of a fallen brother that we've lost or rights that are clearly have been broken. But they're literally fighting because they didn't get the president they wanted. Oh, you didn't get your way for 4 years, so now you have to riot the Capitol? Ridiculous, if you ask me, but it's nothing new. Everybody's shocked like this is new information. No, it's nothing new. It's nothing new.
That's the big thing. It's like I like all on Facebook the other day. It's like, man, I can't believe this. You know this. If this was Black Lives Matter, of course we know that. So why are you even bringing it up? The problem is Black people think they free. We think we not in slavery no more. We think just because they not forcing us, and they are forcing you, because if you don't get up and go to work, your Black ass gonna be homeless. You ain't gonna have nothing to eat. You ain't gonna be able to pay your bills. We think we're free. We have this illusion of inclusion because Massa says I could vote on this day, and Massa says I has the right to get up and be a capitalist, and Massa says I has free enterprise. Massa says I could be anything I want, even the president if I want to. Like, bro, it's not true. You in 1453, the Renaissance, white people became in control of this earth, and over the next 400 plus years, they slowly and systematically waged war against you, either driving you into Africa and then putting you in slavery, putting you on ships and bringing you over to America, or they just came on a ship over to America, beat you in war, put you in chains, and then made you be a slave. But that has not changed. Nothing has changed. All they was like, all right, go away. I'm not finna feed you no more. You gotta work for your food now, nigga. So why are you surprised? Why is anybody surprised? Like white people ain't violent. Like white people don't kill people. Like white people don't just do whatever the hell they want. They have the right to.
White people are the most violent, if you ask me. Look at all the murders.
They are terrorists. That's biblical though. The Bible is like, this man is violent. He's a violent man. He kills people. He's gonna put you in slavery. This is how he gets down.
This is how he gets down. This is how he operates. It's not new. And it's going to continue to happen. It really is. It's going to continue to happen. You know, like I always say, we as in the, the minority, we live in America. AMERIKKK.
America.
And everybody else lives, and in the white supremacists, they live in America. Land of the free. Land of the free. Who's free?
Home of the slave.
Land. Like, well, a comment from Izzy Davis said, Black Lives Matters, fighting for a difference and equality, peace among all people, races. They fighting for a man that really don't give about them.
Yeah, he came on here cripping.
My question is to you white supremacists. See, because a real leader is going to stand front and center with their people through everything. Where was y'all's leader at while y'all was rioting? Where was he? Where was y'all's savior? Where was y'all's king? Where was he?
Is that inciting a riot?
That is inciting a riot.
Yeah.
You go to jail for that.
Yes, and that is a capital crime.
Inciting a riot, right? I knew
that was a capital crime.
The only problem with what y'all are saying is Donald Trump is not necessarily their leader per se. He is just a face, a voice that allows them to already move off their preconceived notion. In the white man's mind, he is God. He Jesus, he the angels, he everything. So who the hell are you dark-skinned people to tell me I can't do what I want to do? I done gone this whole time doing whatever I want to do. How you gonna tell me what I can or cannot do? I'm God. And that's in the mind of every white person. Whether you work at McDonald's and he picking up dog food, or he runs the United States of America. His whole mindset is, nigga, I'm in charge. What are you finna do about it? Straight like that.
Even with the crosswalks, like even people just be walking out like just
no
trusting
problem.
in your brain.
I'm like, I tried to jaywalk one time, and I seen this white man. He hit the gas on me. He hit the gas. I'm
gonna let you hit me because I'm screwing your ass.
Oh yeah.
All right, so a little Tess Whitaker about me, guys. I'm 22 years old and I don't know how to cross the street.
What?
I just walk. I'm a pedestrian. Hit me if you want to. And I've been that way my entire life. I got cussed out and I got my ass beat as a kid for not looking both ways. My older brother still to this day, if we're walking together, he will snatch my hand and grab me while we walk across the street. And I'm trying to say, like, I'm a grown ass, leave it off. But it's like I cannot, and I don't care. I
don't care. Black people.
It is because I'm gonna cross the street. I feel like I have the right of way, especially in parking lots. If I'm walking and you don't stop for me,
G, real talk. You gotta stop doing that. They don't know about the black guys. Everything you said, that's the mindset of black people in America. That's the reason why black people are upset that the white people were able to do that and they ain't getting no punishment. Because we think that we're good in the hood. We think that this man care about us.
I don't think that.
Then why you ain't looking around like they might hit me?
Because if you gonna hit me, you're gonna hit me. If it's my time to die, it's my time to die. I ain't got control over that. That's not my say so.
You really do. You walk out the street, then you will get hit.
You can literally prevent yourself from dying by just looking left and looking right.
I mean, I ain't got hit so far.
True.
1, 2.
Hey, that's like, man, I've been smoking crack my whole life. I still haven't died.
Damn.
They say crack might be the cure to corona. Crackheads ain't got it.
Oh my god.
They do. They just don't care because they're looking for their next hit.
I'm terrible with it, man. I do need to work, but let me tell y'all, and my friends from childhood can attest to this. My favorite game was chicken. Y'all want to play chicken?
No.
I love that game, but
let me tell you.
Hold on, Tabitha. I don't think you can actually blame your family for you liking hood niggas. You just like dangerous stuff. You like things that are bad for you. That's exactly what you said. You're like, I just like danger.
It was just chicken.
Let's do it.
It was just chicken, you know. Like you gotta be fast. You gotta be fast on your feet. You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. That was the point of the game. You gotta be quick. Like boom, come on, let's get it. Like I bet you I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna beat the car.
You blame your family for you being with hood niggas. That's on yours.
I can't blame them entirely, but I do give them partial. I give them partial blame, but not entirely.
You like dangerous stuff.
See, all I'm gonna say is this: with this whole crossing the street thing, I remember this as a day. We're driving down the street, and my aunt sees these little teenagers playing chicken. She gets out the car on them, and she's like, "Y'all don't be doing that. My mom died like that. Y'all crazy." Like she cussed them out, and guess what they did? They got their happy selves out the street because she was not ready. She was not playing. She was really about to fight those little kids for playing.
I think I just need somebody's auntie or mama to jump out on their car on me and just cuss me out real quick and tell me. Like, I don't know. I don't play chicken anymore. And I don't encourage kids to play chicken. Hey, it's effective sometimes. But I don't play chicken anymore. I don't encourage people to play chicken anymore. I don't encourage it. But okay, let's segue. I just got a quick little Black excellence thing before I toss it over to Mark. Going into that.
Black excellence.
We have this ex-gang member wins Teacher of the Year award out here in Missouri. He is the physical education teacher, but
PE. I used to love PE.
Hey, used to love PE.
He was great.
In elementary,
he was the only one in my family.
School, like when we did the parachute and the roller things. That's when PE was.
I almost failed because I didn't want to dress out. I was not trying to do that. I didn't want to dress out.
That's the worst way to fail PE, bro. You still want to get dressed? Like, come on, bro.
That was my thing too. Like, I got dressed for school today. I'm not gonna get undressed to PE and then get dressed again. No.
I think that's a girl thing.
I was about to say, I think it might be a girl thing because no, like I spent time getting dressed today. Like, I'm not gonna.
I spent time getting dressed, but you want me to get dressed and change my clothes and sweat out my makeup and my hair? You got me like,
right. No. How disrespectful.
That's funny.
Ex-gang member teacher wins Teacher of the Year award in Missouri. Tab, can you just read the first part for?
Yes. Let me move down. Okay, go ahead.
So after joining a gang in his youth, Darian Cockrell has managed to turn his life around and excel in his career as a school teacher in his hometown of St. Louis.
St. Louis, shout out to St. Louis.
This week, Cockrell, and I hope I'm saying his name right, was able to celebrate a huge milestone after being selected by a committee of his peers and partners to become the 2021 Missouri Teacher of the Year. He is the first male educator to receive the reward since 2015.
Okay.
My thing is, why gotta be ex-gang member? Why can't he just have his name up there? Like, niggas haven't done bad stuff.
For stories purposes,
I
probably.
think, yeah, for stories purposes, to show you, like, no matter what your background is, as a person of color, you know what I'm saying, you can excel. That's like if they said an ex-felon became the Teacher of the Year, but people would be like, he changed his life. I could change my life. I'm an ex-felon.
It's relatable.
I'm seeing it from a way positive view. I'm seeing it from the point that we was talking about earlier about us not, even when we do control the narrative, we choose to lean into the more negative side instead of just being like, yo, this brother put in hard work. But I guess black people don't really read, so they're not going to read that first paragraph. So, hey, it is what it is.
Hey.
He ain't wrong.
He's not wrong. I feel like I've read a whole article based on what the title is. I'm like, okay, so I know exactly what this is. I know exactly what this is about because the title, like, it basically puts it all in one setting for me, one sentence.
That's not for me. I'm a context reader, so I have to read to see what I'm talking about because a title can be so misleading. A title can be so misleading. That's just like judging a book by the cover. You don't know what the context of that book is just because you see what the cover is. It can be the complete opposite of that, but you wouldn't know until you read the context.
Well, I mean, sometimes I do actually read it, but I'm just saying that's that.
Overall, that's most black people. For the overall, they read that title and it's like, boom, I got everything I need to know, and then you go give false information. It's like, damn, did you read it?
Well, I feel that. But
that's me all the time, and it's like I had to get, like, when people share stuff on Facebook or whatever, like at first I wasn't because I was just reading the title, but then I had to go into because I'm like, hold on, I'm not going to be sharing posts from 2012. It's not really even relevant anymore. Like, can we look at the dates of when stuff is being when stuff is happening because this information isn't even relevant. And then depending on what it is, like a lot of stuff that's shared on social media comes from fake news sites. And people don't even know the difference between what's real and what's fake. Like, a lot of the information that's being fed out into the social media world is fake. There's a lot of fake news. It doesn't come from actual real news sites or, real reporters. So, I don't know. Yeah. That's just me, though. I'm a context. I try to be a context reader anyways. To,
I feel like there's things, of course, that you do want to do. This is how I do, right? When I was in college, of course, you had to read the whole thing because if you didn't read the whole thing, there's a lot that you'll miss out on. But like now that I'm not in college anymore and I kind of have like a feel of like how articles are, I read the first, like I read the of course the title, read the first paragraph and the last paragraph. Because the last paragraph is just the conclusion.
That is the laziest thing I've ever heard.
You said all that to say what? Like, what were you saying? Well, like, what was the point of the whole thing?
That's like eating a sandwich and only eating the bread parts. You don't
you know, I don't even eat bread no more. I'm an alkaline vegan, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to get the main parts and the stuff that I need. But no.
Hey, I'm alkaline vegan. I don't know
alkaline. It's a whole nother game. But basically, I saw that to say this. Like this is the conclusion of the matter for me. I see the importance of being a contextual reader, being that person that looks into the context, into the meat, the lettuce, the cheese, all that's within the whole article as a whole. But as for me personally, I'm just telling you kind of how I am, especially if I know, like, I'm reading a news article and I know that there's a video that I could watch that's tied directly to that article. I'm gonna watch the news video.
Black people don't read. What's the brother's name?
I'm not black.
What?
Native Americans don't read. What's the brother's name?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you. What's the brother's name? Y'all read the article? No.
Darren Cockrell.
You
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, I read information the same way I read people. So, you know, I need to be able to read between the lines. I read my information, whether it's a fiction novel, a nonfiction novel, an information article, whatever it is that I'm reading, I read it the same way I read people. And I want to read people detailed. So, because I don't want to not know what I'm getting when I'm dealing with a person. I'm an in between the lines reader. But that's all I had.
Hey, don't snort the lines. Don't snort the lines. Just read between, okay? Exactly. Don't snort them. Read them.
Don't snort them. Read between them. Mark, what you got for us today, bro?
Hey, this is just a small little. That's just because, you know, some people snort lines. You could just read lines and not snort them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Okay, so segueing. So I follow. Well, I'll call him an influencer. So Gillie the Kid, Gillie the King, however you know him, if you know him, he leads this podcast called $1 Million of Game, right? $1 million worth of game. And, you know, every week or so he has a segment where he brings somebody in and then basically just gives game throughout the whole segment. And I guess he has this actual person that's with him on the podcast. He does real estate and actually made a system that's actually very interesting and that we could all start doing within like the next couple of years, however, even if you wanted to start tomorrow. So just putting this in, if we could go ahead and go to the link.
For sure. And you know, $1 million worth of game in like an hour. It kind of goes into like what we were talking about the last podcast when you said if there were $10 million on a table, would you take the 10 million? Or if there was $10 million on a table and a book on how to make 10 million, which one would you choose? I'm taking the 10 million. So if I could learn how to make money in like an hour, I'm definitely going to try to do that. So let's get into this video over here. Yes. Yes, video.
Hey, that's fucked up. So, man, give us some more game about the real estate. Like, let me ask you a question. So say if you're a person, right, and you're not really financially blessed, right, and you want to get into real estate. See, you know, you might got good credit. How is it a way that you can get into real estate if you don't got money? Is that possible?
100%. See, most people, when they think real estate, they think I got to have a real estate license or I got to be a realtor, right? Well, there's this strategy called wholesaling. Really, you don't need to have a real estate license. Don't have to be a realtor. Don't need to have any credit at all because you're not going to be using any credit. And essentially, the whole process of wholesaling is that you're going to find a property owner that needs to sell their house fast. Like somebody that might be foreclosed or have a lien on their property. Like maybe somebody's elderly that passed away. We look for like properties that might be distressed or vacant, abandoned properties like that. And we go target the homeowners of these properties that might be out of state, from like whatever, and we can go put them under contract. Now the deal is like, what we do is we put them under contract. Our contract has some language in it that basically we got a 30-day window that we can shop this contract around.
It's all legal.
All legal, 100% legal. No, like it's only 2 states that have any type of legislation against it, and that just means that you would have to get a license in those states. So Illinois and Oklahoma make you have to have an actual license to assign the contract.
All the other states you cool.
Everywhere else is free game. And this is what, like, like all the white people been doing this for years, but they ain't teach us this part, right? And this is where, like, it's been a game changer for a lot of people, because what's happened is, like, you got a lot of people now find out, yo, you mean to tell me I can get in real estate without having to have hundreds of thousands of dollars or credit or have to be licensed, or I don't have to have a college degree, and I can do it virtually. So the dope part about this, y'all, is like I got a training right now called Rona Proof, which I teach people how to do this stuff literally from the crib. So as long as you got a laptop and a cell phone and internet connection, you can make money anywhere in the country. I do trainings every Sunday at 3:00 where I break down the game for how people can actually get started doing the process. But the process is essentially you find these people that either got vacant houses or they about to lose their house or whatever, and we put those properties under contract, and then we sell the contract for more money to a cash buyer. So it's just it's a little hustle. It's like buying a pair of J's for $100, and you know they're gonna be exclusive, and then you sell them to somebody else for $150, and they worth $300+ or whatever.
Okay.
And so the whole idea is we want to go find these properties, and like I teach the strategy, how you find these properties, how we find them, how we market them off, and then how we find the cash buyers. Because the reality is, there's a lot of investors out here right now that's looking for properties that they don't want to go out and do all the legwork, the hard work to go find these properties.
You just doing a lot of legwork.
We do all the, well, I'm doing the type work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to really go out. So we just really, from the computer, man, you go through, you just start I'm gonna show you a way, like in the systems where we send out a text message to the homeowners. We basically look up all the information on the homeowner. We send them a text message and a call and just ask them if they want to sell their house. And the people that we know that like fit the description of what we want to talk to, we put those properties on the contract. And then we go to those cash buyers, those investors that we know in the marketplace looking for these properties. So the crazy part is right now, right? The middle of a pandemic, most people don't know how to make money. But right now, what's happening? You look at the market, everybody getting involved in it. Why? Because they're like, oh, it's good deals right now. I can go buy these stocks for the low. Same thing in real estate right now. It's a lot of real estate being impacted. You got 30 million people that file for unemployment, right? So you got all these people that's going to not be able to pay the rent, their mortgage, and all this other stuff. So what's going to happen? We know we got all these people that can't pay that. They shit going to get behind. They're going to have to do something.
Right.
So it's going to be a whole lot of properties that's going to hit the market based off the fact that people now can't afford to keep their homes. And it's going to be for like the investors, the people that know the strategy. You can make a bag. Literally right now during this pandemic, my students have already hit over $1 million for 2020.
Let me ask you a question. What's the website?
RonaProof.com. RONA Proof.com.
Okay.
And you come there and you telling me if I'm Johnny Nobody, I'm sitting in the crib. I live in
Dubuque, Iowa.
I live in Dubuque, Iowa. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I can get on my computer, go to your program, and it's game time.
So listen, I give a 10-step strategy, and it's 100% free. So the training that I do is free. So I teach people this stuff for free game. Mm-hmm. I literally teach you how you get started. So if you don't know anything about the real estate game, if you like brand new, don't know shit, I'm gonna tell you from point A to point B. I'm gonna walk you from being a newbie to how you actually can go close a deal and get paid in the training. And this is every Sunday at 3:00. And for anybody that like, here's the crazy part. Like, man, I live in New York. I live in whatever. Like, yo, I'm doing deals in Houston, Texas, Baltimore, even in Philly, right? Mm-hmm. I'm doing deals all over the place virtually. I ain't even having to be there. I'm in North Carolina in the country. Mm-hmm. But you can do all this stuff virtually. So no matter where you live at, you don't even have to do it in the exact market that you live at. As long as you got a computer, I'm gonna show you guys all the systems and everything else, so you can literally get this bag. And the average wholesale assignment fee, just so when people understand how lucrative this can be.
How lucrative?
So definitely. So again, that's $1 million worth of game. That's episode 61. And basically just to kind of overview everything that he already said, it's called www.ronaproof.com. You feel me? Sunday at 3 is where he gives his lessons. And basically what it is making money from home. So it's not doing none of the legwork of actually going to the housing, seeing it itself. And, he gets into it of some of the like actual physical numbers that some of his students have made. And it ranges from 96K from like 3 deals to 100 and something K in those same 3 deals. So
he's teaching gentrification without white integration. See, we can gentrify the hood without white integration. There's nothing wrong with improving the community at all. There's nothing wrong with tearing down old buildings and old condos and apartments and building new ones, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with expanding businesses and adding new Black businesses. There's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing wrong with gentrifying the hood. The part that's wrong is the white integration. Yeah. That's the wrong part, is the white integration. We can gentrify without having white people swarm the neighborhoods and without pushing Black people out. And how we do that is learning how to buy, sell, and flip houses. Real estate, buy, sell, and flip houses. That's what it is. Have your money in a real estate market so you can buy homes, condos, apartments, buildings, all of that. You feel me? The land, just the schools, the parks. We can have gentrification without white integration. It's possible. It is very possible, and he's teaching it. And he said he's teaching it for free. If you didn't catch that, free game, free game, free game. He's giving out free game on how to have gentrification without white integration.
100%. And just to add on to that, it's not anything that we're not used to doing already. You feel me? I know tons of people who buy shoes or buy other products and then sell it for more. And that's essentially all that it is. You feel me? But we're just doing it on small scale so that number is not really like adding up as it should be. But if we start investing and start doing what he's saying and that he's teaching again for free Sunday at 3, www.ronaproof.com.
I just want to say this. He said something that I think is the hindrance or the stumbling block for Black people is you have to do the legwork. And he said, I'm not even doing legwork right now. I'm doing type work. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, a lot of Black people, we're lazy. We don't want to do the legwork. We don't even, when it comes to, renovating or upping the properties that are in the Black community, guess what? Black people want to go where it's already done, where they could do as less work as possible. That's why we move out of the hood and we move into white neighborhoods and things like that. We would rather buy a house in a white neighborhood because that house is going to be stable and we don't have to do really little to no work. And with moving to the hood and trying to gentrify the hood, that comes with doing work, picking up the phone, calling certain businesses that fit the interests of Black people, because that's what white people do. They go buy a house that's broken down. They don't even really hire outside contractors. They learn how to do it themselves, and they go in and they fix up a property, and then they sell it for more than what it's worth. And then not only that, but they call businesses such as like Starbucks and Chick-fil-A and things like that, and they move those businesses in because guess what? They know that's what they know what their market is. They know who they're trying to target to move into that area, and that's what we don't do. We don't call no one. We're not like, hey, my name is Tabitha Ben Israel, and I own this community over here, and I would love to have you come and sell to these people because this is the audience or the people in which you're trying to target to consume the product in which you're selling. We don't do that. We might rent to somebody, but at the end of the day, we move them into the worst conditions possible rather than fixing it up and giving them a leg up into the community.
And you think about it like this, how many little sub Chinatowns does Denver have? The Asians in Denver have so many different areas where they own the entire shopping complex. From the beginning of the shopping complex to the end of the shopping complex is all Asian businesses, and they all put their money together and work together to own that whole little community and area. And they own multiple. Black people, how many we own?
So Hasadiah, is there anything that you would like to say on this, sir?
I mean, y'all was killing it. I agree with y'all for the most part on all of that. I think going to both Tabitha and G's point is it's a moral thing. Because I'm with this. I'm probably gonna look this up and do this on Sundays myself because I've been looking to get into virtual real estate. I think this is a dope idea, but I think I'm about to burp real quick, so forgive me. I think I'm trying to get the burp out so I can say the words. There you go. It went.
Oh my God.
It's a moral standpoint because as Black people, again, it's going back to our identity. We don't value each other. So if I own some property, it's nothing for me to keep it as a slum because I don't give a damn about these niggas who's renting it. We don't have a love for ourselves and we don't have a love for the people who look like us. Simple things like love your neighbor like you love yourself. A little thing, a little law like that.
We'll go a long way.
Period. Because that's gonna change the mindset of the people. So I'm with real estate, I'm with financial literacy, I'm with all that. But before we can get there, we as a people need to understand morality. First, we need to understand identity. We can't be Black because my shirt's Black, I'm not Black. Hey, low key, my camera is trash, but this lighting right now got my skin looking mighty golden. I look like pure gold. I look amazing right now.
That's how I feel. I'm like, hold on, I look nice right now. It looks flawless. What's going on?
Black people, we look good. We are a beautiful people. We are a gorgeous people.
We are. That's because we look like God.
Yeah.
But I did want to say something to you real quick.
What's going on? Let me finish.
I'm gonna have to 18 you after this because you see my head ain't covered. You over here quoting scripture.
I ain't quoting no scriptures. I just said words. I didn't even do you like that. I saw that I was like, oh, you ain't finna put no hair wrap on as you pick your hair out. I didn't pull the Bible out. I simply am just making statements. What we need to do is show each other love. That was an accident. My bad. Forgive me. How you know Matthew 18 me live in front of everybody? Ow. Ow.
I didn't need your money.
That was wicked.
My God.
We need to look at our identity, who we are as a people. We need to apply more. Stop. Exactly. Get her, Gadiel. We need to apply more. I can't.
She got it now.
This can't be life.
She got it now.
We need to look at our identity as a people. We're not Black. Black is a color. We have to really look at who we are and read. Like I've been saying this whole time, we got to read. All Black people got a Bible at home. Pick your Bible up and read it. You're going to find something. Then we have to apply these moral codes, these moral laws. Then once we've done that, then we can take these God-given talents that G's been talking about, us being the smartest people. And she interrupted, bro. Bring it out. I don't know who this Gillie Israel person is, but I'm sure he is a man of high caliber. We need to apply these moral codes, and then we can take those God-given talents that G has been bringing up this whole time, and then we can start building a community. Since your head is covered now, it says the kingdom of heaven don't come by observation, but the kingdom of heaven is within you. So that the only way we're gonna get out of this situation where we are constantly getting killed by the police, getting oppressed, having the bottom and stuff like that is by first knowing who we are, applying the laws that were only given to us, and then we can use our God-given talents to make a better society for us. FUBU. Matthew 18 to me in front of everybody. That was wicked as hell. Again, my skin looks amazing. Thank you for having me on. This is dope.
Yes,
thank you for joining us.
What'd you say?
We would love to have you back in the future, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody should have invited me, but I had to just ask to come on.
Oh my gosh! Guess what? Let me tell you. You always have a place here at the Make a Culture Move podcast.
How'd y'all come up with that name, Make a Culture Move?
You know, it's
we Mac 'em.
Let's move.
Make
And
a culture.
we're trying to make
that name. I want to bring that name up.
I'm weak.
Oh wait.
Listen.
You made that up?
I don't know the origins of nothing. But listen.
I showed you with Large Professor.
Wait, what?
No, it's a Nas bar. Don't worry about that.
Oh my God.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Absolutely. So with that being said, this will conclude our podcast. We want to thank you all for joining. Just a brief overview. We had our discussion that we try to have every podcast now. Started 2021. We're going to bring just a very general topic and then just have great conversation on it. Then we talked about some of the craziness that transpired this past week.
Trump supporters. They're crazy out here. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because these Trump supporters are out here losing their mind, okay?
Losing it. They never had it.
Oh my God! Right.
I said one more thing before we hop off.
Yes.
Hey, I need everybody to do me a favor. Go follow me on Twitter, Hasadiah8. Go follow me on Instagram at Young Activist. Go like the Young Activist Facebook page, and also go like the Young Activist YouTube channel. Subscribe. Help us get our subscribers up. I'll be on there dropping gems from time to time when I get there. All right, I'm done plugging myself.
Absolutely.
And he is a young activist, you guys. He's out here making moves for his community.
I'm like medium-aged activist.
Okay, and I just want to do a public apology to Mr. Hasadiah for interrupting him in the midst of his speech. And I really wasn't gonna Matthew 18. It was a joke, but
you said it out there. I'll take that serious.
It's a light joke, man. Come on now.
Just ha
It's like a
But back to the overview. I'm gonna play on Mr. Mark Johnson. Play. Go ahead.
Also, I was paused.
Yeah, play.
Pause.
Look at his face.
Play.
Stop poking that man.
Then we had a little bit of Black excellence, and then ended off with some $1 million worth of game. But with that being said, again, thank you all for joining. Please follow our Macum Facebook page, Instagram, and follow us on YouTube. This week, we will be doing virtual artist storytelling, so stay tuned in for that. We had a great week this past week. Justin Cooper and Patia. I don't want to.
Amazing stories, y'all. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Catch us on our Zoom for our virtual artist storytelling. But y'all Macum out there.
Macum
out there. Thanks again.
Next move, the best move.
Make the next move the best move.
As always. But yes, y'all Macum out there. See y'all Monday.